Hi everyone, it's your dietetic intern for VeggieRx, Erica, and today we are going to talk briefly about fad diets, just scratching the surface of two in particular. I know this topic can be really confusing, and there's a lot of information out there, as I'm sure you all know, that is telling you to eat this or don't eat this, or try this new diet, or this way of eating is going to solve all of your problems. So it can just be really confusing and overwhelming sometimes. So as we get into our discussion, I just wanted to make a few disclaimers that this is for educational purposes only and is not a recommendation or endorsement of any specific diet. There are so many diets out there and we can't talk about all of them today. So we're just going to focus on two. The first one being a detox or cleanse type of diet, and the second being intermittent fasting. And then lastly, just some things to keep in mind. I think dietitians are wary of the term fad diets or even diets in general because they're presented as a one size fits all kind of this is going to make you lose weight fast, which is not really helpful, right? We're more interested in having diets that are individualized and sustainable. So you can ask yourself, what is an eating pattern that is going to work for me for my whole life or for a long period of time? And I think those are things we should consider when deciding whether or not to try a certain diet. Okay, so first up is a detox or a cleanse diet. So what do you think of when you hear those words? How would you define a detox or a cleanse? So typically, the theory or thinking behind a detox is eliminating toxins from your body. And this is usually done by eliminating solid foods. So, juice cleanses are really popular, like only drinking juice throughout the day. And this is supposedly supposed to help you flush out unwanted toxins from your body. So, what does the science say? There's actually no scientific evidence to support detox or cleanse diet claims on long term health or long term weight management. So, a question I'll pose to you, true or false? Our bodies naturally detox. It's actually true. Some of the organs that helps our body get rid of unwanted toxins are our liver, our kidneys, and our lungs. Our bodies are pretty amazing and really proficient at keeping us balanced. So while some of the advantages of a detox would be to promote increasing fruits and vegetable consumption or decreasing processed food consumption, overall, it's not very sustainable. I don't know how long I could go with just drinking juice. It's very low in calories and protein, and there are certain risks involved, like juicing takes out all of the fiber from fruits and vegetables, overloading us on sugar, which could cause problems for glycemic control. There are dehydration and electrolyte imbalance risks from increased bowel movements, and so on and so forth. I just wanted to point out some ways to support your body's natural detox, which are all things I'm sure you are currently doing. Drinking plenty of fluids, eating a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, especially cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, artichokes, consuming adequate amounts of fiber and lean proteins, and also including some fermented foods like yogurt, kimchi to promote gut health. Okay, switching gears now to talk about intermittent fasting. So, what is intermittent fasting? What have you heard about it? How would you define it? Intermittent fasting can be broken up into two distinct categories. There's alternate day fasting and time restricted feeding. Alternate day fasting is just how it sounds. You have an alternating feast and fast days. So one day you eat normally and the other day you fast. And then time restricted feeding is limiting your eating window to a certain time. For example, a 6-hour window would only allow you to eat from 1 to 7. So, another true or false question. Intermittent fasting is well studied. It's actually false. There's not a whole lot of research out there yet about intermittent fasting. Alternate day fasting is more studied than time restricted feeding. And from the research that we know so far, alternate day fasting produces the same amount of weight loss as traditional calorie restriction. And time restricted feeding, they've seen a natural 350 calorie per day decline by just looking at the clock and restricting your eating to a certain time frame. Now, this has some potential advantages. A lot of people are wary of diets because you have to track what you eat and count your calories, and that's not really sustainable for a lot of people. Whereas intermittent fasting, you can eat whatever you want, you just have to keep track of the time. However, it's not recommended for certain populations like people with eating disorders, pregnant or lactating women, and people who like to snack throughout the day. And it's also difficult in social situations, like not being able to eat past 7 p.m. could be hard if you're at a party, for example. So, again, it all comes back to individuality and the sustainability piece. So, in conclusion, the bottom line when talking about detoxes or cleanses, there's not really evidence to support them. It's often used as a quick fix, which we want to be skeptical about. And it's really not necessary. Our bodies do a great job of getting rid of unwanted things, and it could potentially be more harmful. Intermittent fasting has potential to be one way to lose weight. However, more research needs to be done before recommendations can be made. And ultimately, you need to know yourself and know what kind of eating pattern will work for you. One of my favorite phrases or pieces of advice to give is the best diet is the one you can do. And that really, at the end of the day, is the only thing that matters. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.